Alright guys, good evening from the Philippines. This is your virtual ATC ground controller here in Manila, and we'll be streaming this ground controlling here at Ninoy Aquino International Airport's Romeo Papa Lima Lima. Yes guys, and if you like this stream guys, don't forget to hit that like or follow button below. I am now Sky Medic on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Alright, so there, according to, okay, there is an, what they call CPT, I think, on C1 for Hong Kong radar until 14 Zulu time. That will until be 10 o'clock in the evening. And we have 2 departures right now. Actually, 3 departures meron tayo dito ngayon. And the other one has already took off. That is Cathay 51 Alpha is going to Hong Kong. And the one you are seeing on our screen is Cathay 383. And he's going to Hong Kong, departing by the Cabanatuan 2 Romeo departure for runway 06, and we'll be flying at an altitude of 380. So if you guys are planning to fly here in the Philippines, going to Hong Kong, or from Manila going to Hong Kong via waypoint Noman.
Request taxi.
Right. Cathay 383 taxi, Golf 4 right on Charlie, all the way to Hotel 2, holding point runway 06.
Taxi to holding point 06 Hotel 2 by Golf 4 Kilo. Cathay 383.
Cathay 380, roger that. Kilo, Golf 4 right on Charlie, Hotel 2, runway 06, holding point.
Kilo, Golf 4 right on Charlie, Hotel 206. Cathay 383.
Alright.
Air Fox 44 Juliet requesting pushback.
Air Fox 44 Juliet, standby, sequence number 1. So yan guys, Air Fox 44 Juliet, pushback and start, approve on Kilo, facing Golf 4, report when ready to taxi.
Pushback approved, facing Golf 4, call you for taxi, Air Fox 44 Juliet.
So right guys, short recap for our stream for this evening. We are controlling ground here at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, and we have 3 departures right now on our screen. One aircraft, Cathay 383, he is an Airbus A340, he is now taxiing out of Terminal 2, going to runway 06 by Kilo, Golf 4 and Hotel 2, and Charlie I mean. And he will be climbing at an altitude of 34,000 feet. So if you're flying from Manila to Hong Kong, there are only 3 altitude restrictions allowed in inbound Hong Kong. That will be 3,000, 34,000, 30,000, 34,000, and 38,000. So another aircraft, that the one you are seeing on my X-Plane 11 screen, that is Air Fox 44 Juliet. He requested for an VOR departure, so that's the reason I gave him Cabanatuan 1 Alpha for runway 06, and he chose to fly at an altitude of 34,000 feet. Alright, and the newcomer here, which is Korean Air's 1004, he's a Korean, utilizing an Airbus A340, and I think he's going to Incheon. Alright, so let's give him Cabanatuan 2 Romeo for runway 06 and auto sign 4. Okay, so 340 is invalid to his destination since he is going eastbound. Yes, eastbound, so dapat add yung flight level niya. So papiliin natin siya between 35 or 330 kung anong gusto niya. Pero definitely, double checking, Korea, or Incheon to be exact, is east of Manila. So, dapat adult yung gagamitin niya. Okay, so medyo madilim dito sa Terminal 3. Terminal 2 pala. So, focus natin na lang yung camera natin doon kay Korean 1004 sa Terminal 1. Okay. So far, yung kasama ko dito nagko-control actually is ASEA FSS. So he's controlling aircrafts above flight level 240 yata, if I'm not mistaken.
Manila Ground Executive Korean Air 1004, Terminal 1 Gate 5, location.
Korean 1004, good evening Manila Ground, the radio 5/5, sir.
Now that's clear. So, hello.
Cathay 383, no further ATC services available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a safe flight to Hong Kong. Good evening.
Monitor Unicom, thank you. Also have a nice evening by Cafe Facing.
Here it's released then. Okay, so ASEA
Air
FS
Fox 4 for Juliet, requesting taxi.
Air Fox 4 for Juliet, taxi Kilo, Golf 4, right on Charlie, Hotel 2, holding point, runway 06.
Kilo, Golf 4, right on Charlie, 06, holding point, Hotel, Air Fox 4 for Juliet.
Alright. Okay, so active ngayon ang ASEAN FSS. So he covers above 24,500 feet. Alright. Other than that flight level, hindi siya nako-control. Okay, so right now, we have 3 aircrafts on our screen. 4 actually to be exact, but Cathay 383 is now cleared for takeoff on Unicom. Air Fox 4 for Juliet is the Boeing 747 going to Hong Kong. He requested for a VOR departure, so cab 1 Alpha was given to him, flight level 340. And Korean Air 1004, he is an Airbus A340, the one you are seeing on my X-plane screen on Terminal 1. And he is going to Incheon. However, he filed 340, so Incheon is east of Manila. So 340 is invalid, so it will be either 350 or 330. And one aircraft, RPC 1109, no flight planned yet. Might be checked.
Manila Ground RPC 1109, radio check.
Yun. RPC 1109. Good evening, Manila Ground. Go ahead, sir. RPC 110, my apologies, I read you 5/5.
Thank you. Manila Ground RPC 1109, I'm sorry, can I have a radio check again?
5/5, sir.
Thank you.
Si Sir Emilio pala, isa sa mga boss. So again, together with me is ASEA, or as a Southeast Asia FSS. He covers 24,500 feet and above. And the rest will be Unicom. Once they will enter the active runway, they will be monitoring Unicom unless there is a tower controller or an approach or a Manila controller together with me. So, tingnan na natin si RPC 110 na yung aeroplano ni sir. Okay, he is an helicopter pala. So naka-helicopter si sir. So hindi ko kailangan no need to guide him.
Manila Ground Korean Air 1004, Kita for Christian Chanting Airport Flat, pushing level 340.
Korean Air 1004, roger that. Flight level 340, sir, is invalid to your destination. Are you able to take 330 or 350?
Tickets level 350, Korean Air 1004.
Korean Air 104, my apologies. That is 350, sir?
Please from Korean Air 1004.
Korean Air 1004, roger that. You're now clear to Incheon by the Cab 2 Romeo departure, runway 06, flight plan route. Climb and maintain flight level 350 and squawk 1355.
Confirm Square 1355.
Affirmative, 1355.
Roger, clear to introduce the departure runway, Galaxy via Charlie Alpha Bravo 2, Romeo departure, current flight level 350, score 1355.
Korean Air 1004, my apologies for the audio glitch. Did you say Cab 2 Romeo, sir, for SID?
Aircraft, Cap 2 Romeo departure.
Korean Air 1004, readback is correct. Reporting ready for pushback and start.
Roger, report and ready for pushback, Korean Air 1004.
P1 arrival, Philippine 1859. Saan ba galing sa Philippine 1859? Okay, he's Mactan. Saan na siya? Okay, Mario. Hi Sir Gio, wala namang event sir. Yung may event yung parang CPT yata ng C1 controller sa Hong Kong, yun yata. Kaya medyo lit yung Southeast Asia. Or, oh yeah, to be exact, ASEA FSS. Tapos yung Hong Kong controller. Merong yatang CPT siya hanggang alas 10 ng gabi. Or 14 Zulu's time. Okay, so sa 787
Manila ground, good evening, Philippine 1859.
Philippine 1859, or good evening Manila ground. Taxi Romeo 3, Golf Juliet, and turn left on Lima, then Kilo, standard choice, Terminal 2.
Say again, sir, please.
Philippine 1859, or standby. Air Fox 44 Juliet, monitor Unicom 122.8 of a safe flight to Hong Kong. Good evening.
1228, thank you to Air Fox 442.
Philippine 1859er, taxi Romeo 3, then Golf Juliet, turn left on Lima, standard choice, Terminal 2.
Romeo 3, Golf Juliet, left Lima, standard choice, Terminal 2, Philippine 1859.
And Air Fox 44 Juliet, please set squawk 1351, sir. Thank you. Kalimutan ko, hindi ko napansin. My bad. Air Fox 44 Juliet. Wala, nakalimutan ko. 1351. Hindi siya nakasquawk pa pala. So yan guys, welcome again to my stream. This is your virtual ground controller here at Manila Ninoy Aquino International Airport Ground. Wala naman pong events, pero we are now controlling possible departures here at Manila going to Hong Kong. There is a CPT going on at Hong Kong C1. And right now we have three departures going to Hong Kong, 2 Cathay Pacific and 1 Air Fox 44 Juliet, an Airbus A321, a Boeing 747, and an Airbus A340-600. Okay, so both of them, the three of them will be flying either 340 or 380. So those are the one of the three. Okay, Philippine 1859. Fuel finish at buti na lang. Okay, naubusan na ng fuel sa Philippine 1859. Tamang-tama na dahil pagdating niya dito sa Manila. Right, so one remaining departure here in Manila is Korean 004, and he is an Airbus A340-600, the one you are seeing on my screen at Terminal 1, and he will be going to Incheon So he will be departing RNAV departure Cabanatuan 2 Romeo via runway 06, and he will be flying at an altitude of 35,000 feet. Okay guys, so three of my social media platforms now are on SkyMedic, so you can see me on Twitch as SkyMedic PH and on YouTube and Facebook as SkyMedic. And welcome to my streaming for ground controller. So hopefully madagdagan pa yung flights natin departure here in Manila. Okay, so there is one controller earning his C1 rating on Hong Kong, and CPT will last until 14 Zulu time at least. All IFR and VFR traffic is welcome. Good luck for Justin. So 14 Zulu time, that is until 10 o'clock in the evening, or that will be 15 minutes from now. So yun na lang, hanggang doon lang tayo. Okay, so hopefully meron pa mag-depart tayo dito. Okay, nawala pa sa FSS. So together with me is ASEA FSS. He controls the airway about 24,500 feet. So cover niya ngayon guys the whole Southeast Asia. Kaya nga ASEA. Southeast Asia control covers about 24,500 feet. So all the way hanggang Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Philippines, Vietnam. Phnom Penh has its own controller right now. Singapore has its own controller right now. And for Hong Kong, that is for Justin, for his CPT for his C1 rating. And the rest for Myanmar and Vientiane, Laos, all being covered by our ASEA FSS. Okay. So nakapag-set na ng squawk si Korean 1004, so possibly we'll be expecting for
Ground Korean 1004, request push and start.
Korean Air 1004 pushback and start approve on discretion for runway 06. Report when ready to taxi.
Pushback message with report when ready to taxi. Korean Air 1004.
Alright, so he will be departing Cabanatuan 2 Romeo, Bravo 462 Lawag, Mike 646 Positive, flight land route. Yeah. So hopefully madagdagan pa yung departures natin to guys. So all of you wants to fly, pero ngayon nga lang yung CPT natin hanggang alas 10 lang ng gabi. Okay, checking natin yung mga departures natin so far. So this is a VATSIM natin. Okay, so yung tatlong going Hong Kong natin already took off. That is Cathay 51 Alpha, Cathay 383, and Air Fox 44 Juliet. Isa lang yung medium-sized aircraft, yung Cathay 51 Alpha, Airbus A321, and Cathay 383 and Air Fox are using Airbus A340, 600 of Dulles, and 747. And I think Bravo's Air Fox 44 Juliet is using ano ba yun, isang aircraft doon na BOR lang yung mga SID niya. Okay, arrivals natin, expected na next arrival pa natin dito in the Philippines will be coming from Brunei. Estimated time of arrival is 14:46 Zulu time, or that will be 10:46 in the evening, isang oras pa. Tagal. Alright. Okay, time check right now, it's already 46 minutes past the hour of 9 in the evening, or that will be 13:46 Zulu time. And again, wala lang, regular controlling lang tayo for this evening, guys. However, in Hong Kong, there is a CPD going on for C1 rating until 14 Zulu time. So hopefully madagdagan yung traffic natin. So far, wala pa tayong traffic other than Korean Air 1002-4. Try natin kaya makinig muna kay ASEA FSS natin. ASEA. There you go. Okay, let's try to listen on the ASEA FSS frequency. So again, guys, just a short recap. This is your VATSIM ground controller, virtual controller here in the Philippines, controller John. And thank you for watching this stream. You can catch me on SkyMedic. You can catch me on Twitch, by SkyMedic PH, and on YouTube and Facebook as SkyMedic. Yan, napalitan na natin yung pangalan natin sa Twitch. Wala pa tayong Twitter. Twitch po, hindi Twitter. Sorry po. So hopefully madagdagan pa to. We are already online for almost an hour, 46 minutes to be exact. So hopefully madagdagan yung...
November 1796 Bravo.
Yun, Philippine 237. Meron, nadagdagan yung traffic natin. Si Sir Kenzo, saan kaya pupunta si Sir Kenzo? Isa sa mga boss natin, Sir Kenzo.
November 1796 Bravo. Cathay 725, contact Singapore Radio 123.7, Cathay.
Seba 123.7.
Laki ng sakop niya, Southeast Asia. Okay, meron ng additional aircraft. Charlie Juliet. Okay, Charlie Juliet. RPVE. Okay, RPVE. Verde. Verde to Romeo tayo. 401. Okay, for those who are interested how we set the squawk codes, actually for international flights, it's automatic starting from 13. Dali lang. This is Manila Ground, the last station calling. Call sign please again. Thank you. Oh.
Korean Air 1004, request taxi runway 06.
Korean Air 1004, taxi left on Charlie, all the way to Hotel 2, runway 06, holding point.
Confirm left Charlie 5.
Affirmative, sir. Left on Charlie 5.
Radar taxi 63 left on Charlie 5, official runway 06, clearing 1004.
CJ 888 requesting for radio check.
Charlie Juliet 888 Manila ground. I read you 2/5. Sandali lang, sandali lang. Okay, it's not on my frequency already.
Manila ground, Philippine 2037 at Bay 34 Airbus 320. With information, Bravo request ATC clearance to Patik Flat, level 270.
Philippine 237, good evening Manila ground. Confirmed, sir, flight level 270, that is 27,000 feet.
Confirm 270.
Roger that. Philippine 2037, clearance request standby number 1.
Number 1, 037.
Korean 1004, no further ATC services available. Monitor Unicom 122.8 of a safe flight. Good evening.
Meet you guys at decimal 8. Thank you for your ATC service, bye-bye.
Philippine 2037, clearance is now ready. Advice ready to copy. Philippine 2037.
Ready to copy, Philippine 2037.
Philippine 2037, you're clear to Katiklan by the Verde 2 Romeo departure, runway 06, flight planned route. Climb and maintain flight level 270, squawk 4401.
Manila ground, Philippine 2037, request Verde to Alpha departure, runway 06.
Philippine 2037, only RNAV departures are allowed. So you're going to request for Verde to Alpha.
Confirm, Verde to Alpha.
Philippine 2037, roger that. Alright, so negative tower and approach. So Verde to Alpha is allowed for your departure. You're now cleared again to Katiklan, the Verde to Alpha departure, runway 06, flight land routes. Climb and maintain flight level 270, squawk 4401.
To Patiklan via Verde to Alpha departure. Runway 06 then as filed, climb and maintain flight level 270, squawk coded 4401. Philippine 2037.
Philippine 2037, read back is correct. Expect pushback on Lima, facing Golf 5, reporting ready. Okay, so kinokontak ako ni Sia FSS pero na-release ko na si Kwan Air Fox yung nag-depart kanina. Actually, wala na nga siya dito sa screen ko eh. Hindi na siya sakop. So sa Philippine 2037, so refocus natin yung camera natin ngayon to Terminal 2 again. So two aircrafts now. We have Philippine 105, Philippine 2037, and CJ 888s. Okay, so Philippine 2037 is going to Katiklan. He requested for Verde to Alpha. So to Alpha is a VOR departure. Last station calling, call sign please. Okay, so 44002.
The ground, Philippine 2037 request push.
Philippine 2037 pushback and start approved on Lima facing Golf 5, reporting ready to taxi.
Push start approved Lima, face Golf 5, Philippine 2037. Then call me back for 1 ready for taxi.
Okay, this is Philippine 105. Only receive. Alright guys, this is again your virtual ground controller here in Manila VATSIM. And we are already online for almost an hour or more than an hour already controlling ground here in Ninoy Aquino International Airport. And we have 3 or technically 4 aircraft on departure. However, Korean 1004 is now released for departure. Okay, the one on your screen is Philippine 2037. He is an Airbus A321. He requested for a VOR departure for Katiklan, and he is now commencing his push on Lima facing Golf 5, and he will be cruising at an altitude of 27,000 feet. Beside him is Philippine 105. He filed a flight plan going to Katiklan also, flight level 230, and he is now signed for Verde Tourism. However, he didn't request yet for clearance for departure. CJ 888 is parked at the apron, or what do you call that? Remote apron here at Terminal 2. No flight plan yet. And the newly spawned aircraft Cathay 934 at Terminal 3. Okay, sino kaya to? Joe Ed Barrientos. Okay, Filipino. Hindi tayo mapupa. Right.
Manila Ground, good evening, Philippine 105.
Philippine 105, good evening, sir. Manila Ground, go ahead.
Philippine 105, Airbus 321, information Bravo. We have requesting IFR clearance to Katiklan at level 230.
Philippine 105, clearance request, standby number 1. Philippine 105 clearance is now ready. Advise ready to copy.
Ready to copy for Philippine 105.
Philippine 105, you're clear to Katiklan by the Verde 2 Romeo departure, runway 06, flight plan routes, climb and maintain flight level 230, squawk 4402.
Philippine 105 is cleared to Katiklan via the Verde 2 Romeo departure, runway 06, flatland route. Climb at level 230 and squawk 4402.
Philippine 105, readback is correct. Expect pushback on Sierra 8 facing Golf 5. Report and ready.
We'll expect pushback, Sierra 8 facing Golf 5 for Philippine 105. We'll call when you're in.
Okay.
Man on the ground, Philippine 105, requesting push and start clearance.
Philippine 105, standby. Pushback clear sequence number 1.
Standing by, sequence number 1, and would like to confirm facing east for the pushback.
Philippine 105, that is a negative. That is Sierra 8 facing Golf 5. That will be facing southwest.
Roger, facing southwest for Philippine 105, thank you.
Manila ground to Philippine 2307 at Lima. Request taxi, photo point runway 06.
Philippine 2037, taxi Golf 5 right on Charlie, Hotel 2, holding point runway 06.
Taxi Golf 5 Charlie Hotel to hold short runway 06. Philippine 2037.
Philippine 105, behind the taxiing Philippine Airbus A321 from your right to left. Pushback and start approved. Reporting ready to taxi.
Roger, after the taxiing traffic, company Airbus 320 from right to left, we will commence our push for Philippine 105.
Ground, Philippine 2037, holding position, standby for 2.
Philippine 2037, roger that. Philippine 105, Manila ground.
Go ahead for Philippine 105.
Philippine 105, Philippine 2037, the aircraft on your right is currently holding for 2 minutes, so pushback clearance request on standby.
Roger, no problem. We'll be waiting for Philippine 105. Thank you.
Ground, good evening, Cathay 934, Bay 108. I got you. Yes, Cathay 934, Bay 108 with information. Bravo, good evening, radio check.
Cathay 934, Manila ground, 5/5.
Hello, thank you, Cathay 934. Would like to request a park clearance for Hong Kong flight level 340, please.
Cathay 934, confirm runway 06 for departure, sir.
Affirm 006, please.
Cathay 934, clearance request, standby number 1.
Hello, thank you, number 1, Cathay 934.
Cathay 934, clearance is now ready. Advise ready copy.
Cathay 934, ready to copy.
Cathay 934, you're cleared to Hong Kong by the Oliva 2 Alpha departure, runway 06 flight land route. Climb and maintain flight level 340 and squawk 1357.
Cleared to Hong Kong via Oliva 2 Alpha departure, runway 06 flight land route. Cleared level 340, squawk 1357, Cathay 934.
Cathay 934, readback is correct. Expect pushback on November, facing Golf 14. Report when ready for push and start.
Roger, we'll push and start. Okay, we'll be expecting November facing Golf 14, Cathay 934.
Manila Ground, Philippine 2037, back and continuing taxi for the patient.
Philippine 2037, roger that. Continue taxi as instructed. Golf 5, right on Charlie. Hotel 2, holding point, runway 06.
Roger, Lima, Golf 5, Charlie, Hotel 2, hold short, ground release 36. Philippine 2037.
Philippine 105, pushback instructions now. Correction, Philippine 105, pushback and start approved, reporting ready to taxi.
Push and start approved, will report ready for taxi, Philippine 105.
Okay, meron pang S2 exam sa Hong Kong. Sunod-sunod ah. Okay, so tapos na yung controller exam. Ngayon, another exam na naman. Grabe yung Hong Kong ah. Medyo super active ah. So may broadcast sila ngayon. Saan na ba yun kanina? Nakikita ko yun. Philippine 2037, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a safe flight. Good evening.
Unicom 122.8, Philippine 2037. Thank you and have a good night.
Saan ba yun kanina? Parang may message. Nakalimutan ko. Saan ba yun?
Manila ground, Cathay 934, request.
Cathay 934, confirm you're requesting for pushback.
Affirm, sure, Cathay 934.
Cathay 934, roger that. Pushback and start approved on November, facing Golf 14, reporting ready to taxi.
Push approved, November, facing Golf 14, quarterback ready for Cathay 934.
Alright, so yung 2 departure aircraft natin is now requesting for pushback. So Philippine 105 nagpo-pushback na, almost finished. Cathay 934 started this pushback facing Golf 14 on November. And Philippine 2037 is already on holding point runway 06 for departure. Released na po siya. And he is already on Unicom. Okay, there is an S2 exam underway at the Hong Kong, and we will help Angelo earn his S2 rating by challenging him with your IFR and VFR flights from now until 16:00 Zulu time, or that will be until 12 midnight in here in the Philippines. Alright guys, so everybody who is watching this and looking for places to fly in VATSIM right now, there is an S2 rating, S2 exam rating for S2 exam for his rating for challenging him for IFR.
Philippine 105, taxi, requesting taxi runway 06.
Philippine 105, taxi Golf 5, right on Charlie, Hotel 2, holding point runway 06.
Golf 5, right on Charlie, holding Hotel 2, holding point runway 06, Philippine 105.
All right. So let's help Angelo, our Hong Kong student tower, to earn his ST rating by challenging him with your IFR and VFR flights from now until 14 or 16 Zulu time. Or that will be around 2 hours from now. Alright guys, for those who will be watching this stream or will be reviewing this stream at this point of time, this is your virtual ground controller here in the Philippines, in Manila to be exact. Your virtual controller John, and I am controlling ground here at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Romeo Papa Lima Lima. And we have 2 departing aircraft right now going. One is going for Katiklan and another is going for Hong Kong. So Philippine 105, he is an Airbus A321. Is now taxiing on Charlie to go Hotel 2 for runway 06, and we'll be departing by the Verde to Romeo departure. Right, if you're curious on how we give clearances or how we give squawk codes for those who are departing domestic flights in Manila, squawk code will be starting 44, and for those who will be departing for international flights, that will be squawk code starting numbers 1 and 3. So right now, wala na tayong kasama dito, walang FSS, walang tower, walang approach, walang controller. So mag-isa lang tayo as ground controlling here in Manila. So we will hand over Philippine 105 to Unicom to monitor Unicom for his flights. Philippine 105, no further ATC services available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a safe flight to Katiklan, sir. Mayang gabi.
Well, monitor Unicom 122.8. Thanks for your help. See ya.
See ya, sir. Departure, and we will release him. Okay, so isa na lang yung technically nasa ground frequency ngayon. Okay. 140. Okay, bagong ATC information, runway 06 pa rin, 13 in use. All stations, current ATC information Charlie, winds 140 degrees, 3 knots, QNH 1013, runway 06 and 13 in use, no significant weather changes. Yo, Sir Philip MKD94, thanks for the follow in Twitch. Appreciate that, sir. Good evening. Maraming salamat from the Philippines. Okay, let's try to follow this Cathay 934. So we are using tower view for X-Pilot and X-Plane 11, guys. That's the reason I could view the aircraft. So paminsan-minsan, medyo nagiging strict lang tayo. So kunyari yung mga eroplanong nagdi-depart ng Manila, pero nasa taxiway pa rin, pero naka-strobe lights na sinasabihan ko, please turn off your strobe lights. So technically, your strobe lights must be on once you will be entering or crossing an active runway. So right, for example, here in Manila, for Cathay 934, he will be taxiing to holding point prior crossing runway 31. So kapag binigyan na siya ng clearance to cross runway 31, since runway 13 is active, we make it a habit that we must turn on our strobe lights while crossing an active runway. So hopefully Cathay 934 will be turning on his strobe lights before crossing runway 2 and turning off it again after crossing runway 31 and turning on it again before entering runway 06. Okay, this is again your virtual ground controller here in the Philippines, John. And usually I stream here as ground controller or a virtual pilot in VATSIM. Okay, so one remaining aircraft for departure, that is Cathay 934. He's going to Hong Kong. So if you guys are planning to depart Ninoy Aquino International Airport here in Manila, Philippines, going to Hong Kong, there are only three valid altitude restrictions going to Hong Kong, since you will be passing waypoint Nomad or Teg. I know Teg is for Singapore. Alright, so that is 300, 340, or 380. Other than that, so hindi pwede. Okay, so Cathay 934 here is an Airbus A321 and he requested for runway 06 for departure. Alright, so medyo long way yung departure. Actually, pwede naman sila mag-depart for runway 13, which is much closer. And the Airbus A321 Neo is the largest aircraft being allowed to depart via runway 13. So Philip MKD 94, thanks for the follow, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it so much.
Manila ground, Cathay 934, request taxi.
Cathay 934 taxi, November, Golf 14, left on Delta, hold short Charlie.
Taxi November, Golf 14, Delta, hold short Charlie for Cathay 934.
Alright guys, time check right now, it's already 24 minutes past the hour of 10 in the evening here in the Philippines, or that will be 14:24 Zulu time. So I have only one departing aircraft remaining on my ground frequency, that is Cathay 934. He is an Airbus A321 and he was already starting his taxi towards our holding points, or that will be holding short for Charlie because he will be crossing runway 31. So further instructions will be made or will be given once he is on taxiway Delta. So information Charlie na ngayon guys. So just short recap, information Charlie winds right now in here in Manila. 140 degrees at 3 knots and QNH is 1013 and no significant weather changes, and runway 06 and 13 is in use. So the wind is from the direction of southeast 140 degrees with a speed of 3 knots. The wind direction varies between east 080 degrees and southwest at 210 degrees, and visibility is good, which is 10 kilometers or more. There are few clouds and at altitude to 2,500 feet and no ceiling has been observed. Alright. Tingnan natin, nasa na ba siya? Cathay 934, continue on Charlie 3, cross runway 31, Charlie 4, Hotel 2, runway 06, holding point.
Roger, we'll now continue right on Charlie Hotel 2, runway 06, Cathay 934.
Okay, so Cathay 934 is now crossing runway 31, but he is departing runway 06. So, yung nasabi ko kanina, usually the aircraft crossing an active runway or entering an active runway must turn on their strobe lights and just turn it off once they are already on the taxiways. So technically ganun. Pero sometimes merong lumilipad dito guys, especially if I'm using my X-Pilot and X-Plane 11 for the pilot or the tower view. Nakikita ko na medyo naka-strobe light sila while on parking, or strobe light sila while on taxiing on the ground. So kapag nakikita ko yan, I usually say to them that please turn off your strobe lights, you are still on the ground frequency. Medyo strict lang yung ground. Okay, so may nag-spawn pa. So hope hindi ko alam kung hanggang anong oras ako. But I started already controlling Manila ground around 9 in the evening kanina. So technically I'm already online for 1 hour and 28 minutes. So kaya pa. So another aircraft just spawned, Philippine 103. Or Philippine 1103. No flight planned yet, so let's check on him once he has his flight plan ready. Bakit kaya hindi nagkuhan yung alert box ko? Supposed to be expecting some alerts na. Check ko lang. Ba lumabas kanina, hindi ko lang nakita. Okay, so Cathay 934 will be handed over to Unicom at 122.8 once he reaches Charlie 6. Since wala na tayong ibang controller other than me here in the Philippines. So short recap lang guys, he is an Airbus 321 going to Hong Kong by the Aluba 2 Alpha departure. That is the RNAV departure for an Oliva for runway 06. And he will be flying in at altitude of 34,000 feet and be squawking 1357. Alright, Cathay 934, no further ATC services available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a safe flight to Hong Kong. Good evening.
1228 for Cathay 934. Gandang gabi.
Okay, Philippine 113 has filed this flight plan already. Is going to Iloilo. Flight level 330, so okay siya. So puro south sila ngayon going south. Also, Philippine 113 na lang yung natitinang departure natin. Is going to Iloilo, guys. Here, he is an Airbus A321. Okay. Marami pang gising ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. Alright, so meron pa tayong tower training for Hong Kong. If you guys wanted to fly here in the Philippines or here in Southeast Asia, there is a tower training. Actually, technically, Hong Kong is not part of Southeast Asia na. Pero may tower training pa for so yun, may tower training pa hanggang 16 Zulu time. So that will be around 12 midnight here in the Philippines. And time check right now, it's already 36 minutes past the hour of 10 in the evening. So maaga pa, guys. So if you want to fly pa in here in the Philippines, go ahead. And I will try to stay until almost 12 in the midnights for you guys. Okay, so ayan. Ilang oras na ba tayo nag-stream? So technically, ilang oras na ba tayo nag-stream? Okay, so 1 hour and 11 minutes na. Okay, so tapos medyo konti lang. I might as well end this stream na lang, guys, but I will be continue controlling runway ground here in Manila. Okay, good evening, sir. What is the runway service, please? RBA 284, nasaan ka? Who are you? Runway 06. Eh, bakit may chat yan? That chat. RBA 284. Last station calling Manila ground, then negative audio, sir, on static. Alright guys, if you like this stream guys, don't forget to hit that like or follow button below. You can catch me here at Twitch as SkyMedicPH and on Facebook and YouTube as SkyMedic. I will be ending the streams now, but we'll be continue controlling ground here in Manila. This is again your virtual controller in the Philippines, John. And hopefully before this the month of January ends, I will be already on my tower training, and hope to see you guys soon again on our next stream. This is your